Good Wednesday morning. Froggy. Very foggy. It's about 8:20. Yeah, we need that thing behind the tree over there to really start shining. Because holy shit is the dew heavy this morning. Man, did it come on heavy last night. Yesterday morning was nice and sunny. Not near as much fog, so we could start earlier. But I got Larry coming. Things to do today or this morning, hopefully, anyhow. So, but now I'm gonna go fire up the dryer and system and whatnot, because we just dumped what we did yesterday in the wet bin and didn't bother stopping to screw around with this. So time to screw around with this. Gotta just start filling the dryer. So I'm going to turn you off for now, and then I'll turn you back on and explain for you non-farmers. Actually, I'll turn you on now. And so I push my enables. Load is on. I always run the fan while it's filling, just because then it blows some of the dust out. But everything else is off. The leg, the burner, all that. So push OK. Push start. Tells you to go out to the computer, to the dryer, and push start on the dryer. Wow, look at the condensation in there on that glass. Yeah, it's not gonna be an early morning or an early start to the afternoon. It's gonna get loud here, just so you know. That's turning. So now it's starting to take the beans up. I'll go over here. So the beans are going up that auger. There they go into the dryer. That's why I turned the fan on as it's filling, just to help push the dust out. Boy, the beans are dusty as hell this year. So now it's filling each of them columns one at a time. It'll fill that one, and that one, that one, that one, and so on and so forth. And once it gets full, that little flipper valve up there that I showed you a video or two ago, that'll turn, so it'll be full. Tell me when it's full. Well, it'll shut this off is what it'll do. So, all right, this will take a little bit. Turning you off. Turning you back on real quick. You can see it says load first fill, telling me that we're running, obviously, soybeans. So that'll shut off, or that won't say first fill after it's filled up. Alright, so it's full. I went over and looked on the computer in the combine. My average moisture yesterday was 13.8%. Yes, the joys of, that's about the only field that's not surrounded by woods. That's the joys of having 80 to 90% of your fields, like the one on top of the hill, surrounded by woods. You get out in the middle, they were, you know, between 11 and 12. Around the outsides, they're wetter. So I got the heat on right now. As you can see, it's climbing. I've enabled that. I will turn on the, once it gets up to temperature, the burner cycle timer, which will make it kick on and off, on and off, on and off, because we don't need a lot of heat. And I'm now engaging our unload. So the temperature's almost up to where it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to go out and make sure I hear beans going into the right bin. I got everything set the way it's supposed to be. I don't think the flipper valve up top needed to be flipped. I think that's alright. We will find out, because the leg is turning. So it won't be long, we should be able to hear beans slapping against the side of this bin. And hopefully not out the back pipe there that I showed you in a previous video. Because, like I said, the flipper valve should be in the right position up top. The only time we flip it is for corn. And then we have to flip it back to do beans. So They're going up the leg now. And we'll find out if we got any kind of pluggage up there shortly. You'll hear it when it starts spinning it. That spinner starts spinning it against the sides. I haven't turned on that burner cycle timer yet because I want to make sure everything's... Yep, I can hear them just starting to fall in. And you won't see a lot of steam with beans because we're not using that much heat like we do with corn. Matter of fact, you probably won't see any steam. You hear them? Should start hearing them constant here in a second. Yep. Takes a minute to get 80 feet in the air. And that's a short leg compared to some people around here. They got 100, 120 footers. Yep, they're going in the bin. That's a good thing. We did everything right. There's a lot to remember every year. Yeah. I always tell myself I'm going to write cheat sheets, but I never do. I do write cheat sheets in the computer shack to remind myself of things. And to remind John if he's helping me. Alright. Let's go ahead and see where our temperature is. See what it's reading for wet moisture coming in. Yeah, see those? Reading 15.3 right now. But it was, you know, wicked heavy dew. And the top was open and whatnot. So that'll drop down here shortly. And the temperature's running right around where I want it to be. So when that starts dropping down, I will turn the burner cycle thing on. See how it's showing the dry moisture coming out now is going up. Yeah, but 14%, 15% beans on the very bottom to start with, they'll be fine. Because once you turn those fans on, that's getting pounded with the most air. So I'll let this run for a little bit, see where the wet moisture gets down to, and then come out and turn that burner cycle thing on so that the heat just pulsates rather than a constant heat. And just to mention, because you farmers know this, like the rate is running slow at the moment because it says it's running 14.4% beans out the bottom. So you're going to wind up over drying some, basically until you get a good dryer's worth all the way through it. That's when it levels itself off to be where it's supposed to be rather than over drying some, because the ones going out the bottom now are in the cool section, so they never got any heat. So it'll over dry a little bit and then it'll catch up to itself and figure everything out. So I got this hooked up, finished greasing. It's on the 8235. I don't know, I'm starting to worry about Colin. Today's Wednesday. I texted him Saturday. I said, hey, probably gonna start beans. Can you come the first of the week and, you know, do that ILS calibration? He says, yes. I said, all right. I said, well, let me know when. He says, will do. Texted him yesterday. I've texted him today. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if something happened to the poor guy or what's going on. But anyways, Larry just showed up with the corn head. It's almost noon. It's going to be 2 before we get started anyhow. So the next 2 hours we're going to try and figure out the things on the computer that are different now after the software update, and then switch the heads and go through the corn head and then switch back. And yeah, it's not a good day to be 85, 86 degrees because I'm sweating my ass off. So we're in the process of doing a yield calibration, getting the weight. I don't know how well you can see the number going up as we're going across the field. Yeah, so the New Holland guy was out. We never did put the piece on the back because it just got to be 2 o'clock and I'm like, I need to be doing beans. These are some pretty good beans. I'm starting to worry about Colin. Texted him last Saturday, said we're going to be doing beans, you know, can you calibrate the 8295 first part of the week? Yep. I said, all right, let me know when you're coming. Will do, he said. Exact words. Texted him yesterday, tried to get a hold of him today. I hope nothing's wrong with him because he's not answering back. So anyways, the 8235 is now on the cart. I took the scale out of the 8295 earlier, put it on that, put it back in that tractor, put it on the cart so that we could get going. So I want to get the field up the road done today. What is it? 3:15, and get moved over to the Buddha Italy farm over there and get some of that done. Last night about 7 we had to quit a little before. Holy shit, these hot days are great for drying things down, but when the sun goes down and then like you saw earlier, the fog this morning, whew, when that dew set in, that was brutal. So alright, I gotta dump at the end, give her my number and get her number from the scale and yada yada yada. The boot of Italy, there's the boot part. I'm making my first time around the big part. And as you can see, the sun is almost down. She was grinding a little back there where, you know, the woods were. She'll probably grind a little down here too when I go around the woods, but hopefully the sun shines tomorrow. This will be the last round for tonight. When you start seeing it trying to chuck it back out the feeder house and you hear all the, I don't know, you probably can't see me, but I'm facing the camera towards me, and you hear all the growling. Yeah, I mean the beans are 12.5%, they're yielding good. It's just, it's 7:30. Obviously the sun is down, as you can tell, and when it's 87 degrees like it was today and then it drops down into the 60s, yeah, the old dew is starting to set in. So it's getting a little tough. One more partial bin full will be enough to finish filling the truck that Barb's dumping in anyhow. So tomorrow's another day, and then it's supposed to rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, that's why we're trying to get as much done tonight as we can so that we can finish here and down the road tomorrow. Okay, so I lied. I've just slowed down about a half a mile an hour. And we're gonna get a little more done because tomorrow we're just not sure. They say cloudy, I mean it's supposed to be in the 70s, and then the cold front comes through in the evening, which is going to bring the rain Friday. But so we're going to try and do a little more because there's about 35 acres left here and there's 25 acres up the road. I want to get it all done tomorrow. And yes, I'm losing my voice, the dust. So we're going to go a little longer. You can probably hear it grinding a little, but if I have to slow down a little more, I will. The beans are dry. They're running between 11 and 12%. It's just when the dew starts setting in, it gets a little ugly. I don't know if you can hear the grinding or not, but when it gets to the point I have to get down to 3 miles an hour or less, then that's when we're going to quit, because that gets a little tedious.